Hello, I am Queen Kunde Enoch. Join us every Tuesday on the program Talking Peace, where we raise discourse on how to attain peaceful coexistence and tolerance in our society.
Talking Peace is a production of ZT Communications in partnership with Taraba State Broadcasting Service TSBS Jalingo.
For enquiries and advert placements, please call 0803 454 0469.
Talking Peace is the meeting point. Join us.
Hello, welcome to another edition of the program Talking Peace here on TSBS, as well as on our online platform, ZT Online, on www.ztonline.com. Now, Talking Peace is that program where we discuss issues that concern how we enjoy peaceful coexistence in our society. And you would agree with me that without peace, we can't attain any form of development. And I mean it, any form of development. And so it is very important we continue to talk about how we can attain peaceful coexistence in our society. There's one very important component of how we can enjoy this peaceful coexistence in our society. This is one institution that has been there over the years, time immemorial. And I'm talking about the traditional institution. We cannot, overlook this institution if we truly want to enjoy peaceful coexistence in our communities. On that note, you will join me today as I welcome on the program this evening one of such very, very strong traditional institution here in Taraba State. I'm talking about the Hawaii district here in the heart of Jalingo, the Taraba State capital. I have the district head here who will give us from very garnered experience, those recipes we can really apply to enjoy peaceful coexistence in our communities. So, before you meet my guest, we'll take this short break and we'll be right back on the program Talking Peace. Don't go nowhere. Hello, I am Queen Kunde Enoch. Join us every Tuesday on the program Talking Peace, where we raise discourse on how to attain peaceful coexistence and tolerance in our society.
Talking Peace is a production of ZT Communications in partnership with Taraba State Broadcasting Service TSBS Jalingo.
For enquiries and advert placements, please call 0803 454 0469.
Talking Peace is the meeting point. Join us.
Welcome back. It's still Talking Peace here on TSBS and on our online platform www.ztonline.com. And like I did say before that break, we have someone here on the program who will tell us the role of the traditional institution in attaining peaceful coexistence in our communities. And I said he is none other than the district head of Hawaii district here in Kona, Chiefdom, Jalingo local government area of Taraba State. His Royal Highness, the district head of Hawaii, Micheal Vakkai. You're welcome on Talking Peace.
Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Like you did head in the prologue, Talking Peace. And today we want to find out the role of the traditional institution in attaining peaceful coexistence in our communities. How do we go about it?
First and foremost, I want to appreciate God. And I also would like to appreciate our able, our friendly, our proactive governor, Dyrus Dixon Ishaku. You are already, hitting the nail on the head at the center. And therefore, nothing stops it going right through the timber to the end. That is to say, he has been a promoter of peace, an advocate of peace, and so many of it. Now, coming back to how we can achieve this peace, I again would want to commend him because I don't know. We know God gives everything, but we have to thank God for giving Dyrus the wisdom to handle the issue of peace in Taraba State. He has set a very, very sound base for anybody coming after him to be Lord. And we are presently enjoying relative peace in Taraba State. Despite all odds, we wouldn't have been able to stay here. You wouldn't have been able to come out of your house. Nobody would have been free to carry out the activities as it is being done for now. Now, in the same vein, when the colonial masters came, they could not go straight into action because they needed somebody, an insider, that would put them through. And this issue of the traditional institution came in. When they came, in some areas, but if I can bring you close and into my home, the Kona traditional institution, we had an organized chiefdom. There was everybody, all hands on deck. We listened to no other person than the chief. He's the paramount ruler. Now, issues, like you rightly pointed out, we must appreciate God for putting everybody. Let me take Jalingo, for instance, being the state capital. Nigeria at large is represented in Jalingo. Everybody is here.
Every tribe
is here, is represented. Now, in those days, the colonial masters could not get it easy to penetrate. What they did was they gave a lot of power to the traditional institution because they were in command of their people. Whatever they say,
the people will be.
The people will do it. Now, they were at that early stage, agri show. At that agri show, indirectly, they were promoting farming, sustainable food program. They were promoting cordial relationship between
various
ethnic groups. Thank you very much. They were also promoting animal breeding, which is part of it, still agriculture. Because at that show, horticulture was part of it, where you bring the biggest cash for that day into the field. You will encourage as an award. Everybody had the opportunity to see his neighbor as his brother. That thing went very far. Not until we came in, along the line, is it the military? Of course, it was the military that came in. In fact, they tried to see if they could wipe the traditional institution. But that was not possible. What they did was they reduced them to the barest minimum.
Made them powerless, you mean?
Very much powerless. They were powerless.
So now the traditional institution is answerable to the local government authority.
Yes, it's answerable. Before he moves to anywhere, he has to take permission from the chairman
of a local government.
That I find that so many things are wrong. And honestly, I have been advocating for us to have the most needed peace in this country. I will advocate for the amendment of the constitution of this country so that the traditional institutions would now come up to limelight. They will now have the respect they used to have before their people. You look at the institution, no matter how short, no matter how tall, no matter how you want to rate the traditional institution, there is God-given
authority,
imposing personality is what that traditional is. And he got it from God through his own people because they worship him as they do worship God. And as it is, the traditional institution in this country, I don't know, I should be talking to our northern area. There is need for people of this country to sit down and see how they can add value to that institution.
Now, if value is added to the traditional institution, how would that make us enjoy peaceful coexistence?
Oh yes, when value is added to that, you will find out that he will now be in command. He will, at a very short span of time, from maybe the paramount ruler to second class to third class, if they are available in the setting, to districts, to village heads, to the ward heads. Communication will run like water, freely, and in no time.
Wow.
that command is...
Yes, I recall those days, the GOG and the town crier going around to even pass messages. It used to seem like it was faster than the GSM we have today.
It's faster. But thanks to God, the science or modernization has brought
technology into
it. But even so, it is not easy because particularly with the time we are facing now, not everybody can access radio, which is a very good instrument to disseminate information. But as I said before, the town crier, in a second or so, everywhere the message would have been felt. And particularly when it is coming from the paramount ruler, even if you are eating, if he says now you are leaving your food, to give him that attention. That was why there was peace. There was peace. But as we were going on, the sad aspect of it, the military came in and they did set aside the constitution and didn't give recognition to that institution. That is why things are very difficult these days.
No, but we thank God that the civilian rule has come back, and it's over a decade now. So, like in Taraba State, you have district heads, you have paramount rulers, you have chiefdoms set up, and all of that. Yes. Is that in any way helping now?
It is definitely helping.
Okay, how?
That is why I told you earlier that we are enjoying relative peace. Now, the power per se, the load, let me say, is not the power, it's the load on the paramount ruler is now reduced segment by segment to the barest minimum.
Okay.
And as it is for now, with that respect he's commanding, whatever he says regarding peace will be upheld and practiced. That is why today you find, like I said before, despite the odds we find ourselves, we are enjoying relative peace. I can recall maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, the president and commander-in-chief is charging the governors and everybody,
including the traditional rulers.
Exactly.
That was on Sunday. The meeting held on Sunday.
So it means that value I have been yearning for is now coming, and by the grace of God, Nigeria would put the present conflicts we have all over the place behind.
Wow.
Peace would come to take over.
Wow.
By the grace of God.
Amen. I would say an amen to that, because it's something all of us yearn for.
Yes.
It is very difficult to go about. There are certain villages and local governments you can't even attempt to go to now because you are afraid there might be an attack there and then something could happen to you. Now, while we wait for that peace to come, the Constitution might take a long time to be amended and all of that. Now, what would be your advice to us, considering those factors that cause this conflict we are experiencing now, mostly the youths?
Yes.
The youth restiveness in our society. How would the traditional institution help check this and ensure we have more peace in our communities?
Like I said before, there is need for government to achieve what you are advocating now at every chiefdom. That is, government needs to empower the chiefdom. There is nothing in this world that can bring peace much more than abundant food, sustainable food. If there is food, you are not hungry. If there is food, you don't have an idle mind. If there is food, you have no cause to hate your brother. You will not allow him to go hungry too. So that this program of empowering youths would be better administered by the traditional institutions. Yes. I think government should give whatever is happening in the traditional institution a rethink. They should give it a rethink. Make sure they are encouraged maximally.
Now, when you're talking about this encouragement, could that mean financial empowerment?
It's the same thing.
It's the money. Okay. Now, for instance, the budget should have a budget line that carves out some money for the traditional institution, if I do understand you, Baba.
Yes, but what you have repeatedly said is simply like in English they say is semantics. You are just playing
around words.
Yes.
Yes, peace is very important.
Yes.
You agree with me. And of course, if we find a near solution to it, it's something we should take very seriously.
Yes.
If as simple as returning back or strengthening the traditional institution will give us this peace we so much yearn for, I don't think it's too much to pay so much attention about. Calling it the name.
Without peace, I wouldn't have been able to meet it.
Sure.
Without peace, you wouldn't have known that at one point or another, maybe before you came into the world, we were relating with
my parents.
Your parents.
That's it.
It's glaring. My wife has come to testify. Identifying your father's name.
Far away.
Far away.
Sure.
Nobody, we never thought it would happen the way it has happened today.
Sure.
So we need peace.
Sure.
We need peace.
We do need peace, like you've heard from the district head of Hawaii, and everywhere, not just in Jalingo or Taraba State, but everywhere around the world, we need peace to be able to even attain development. Little wonder the governor of Taraba State, you did say, has a slogan: you give me peace and I give you development. But on the other hand, now giving him peace and he gives development, I used to think it should be the other way around. How will he ensure this peace in Taraba State, even if the citizens do not wish to give him peace? So now I'll bring it back to your table as the district head of Hawaii. What would you do differently to ensure that we have... Now, you did say relative peace exists here now. We want peace. So how would you ensure we do have peace?
We'll definitely have peace because we need to first and foremost identify our neighbors. We need to look into our relationship with our neighbors.
Which we have lost over time.
We have lost over time. That's it. Over time, we have lost that. Because, like it is said, charity begins at home. You don't have a home if you are in isolation. You need your neighbors. And together you can make the vanguard for peace. Once that is done, it is now brought down into family level. You and your children, the household generally. Your neighbor would do the same. The governor would be there in his house. He also needs to apply some of these, strategies. You cannot be a governor for yourself and the family only, particularly when your tenure is taxed. If you don't bring people together, if you don't try to live the peace legacy, whether you are there or you are not there, that legacy you have left behind will continue to linger. It will go all over. Yes.
So, Papa, how is that possible? Now that you did say, for Jalingo, for instance, we have every tribe represented here. In your district, are you able to know who lives within your community? Is it possible?
Definitely. It's one of those things we need to, if it has been brushed aside, we need to resuscitate. We need to dust the register so that anybody coming into the district would have to go to the ward head. He will start from the ward head to the village head to the district head. Who is he? There must be a register for us to check the influx of people to and fro. There must be. And through that way, government can now get information. Government can now be proactive in, improving on the peace the community has given. And that will make the administration very fast, very smooth.
Wow. All right, that's a great recipe as a way of winding up on the program today, talking peace with the district head of Hawaii here in Kona, Chiefdom, Taraba State. Now, but before we let you go, I recall, Baba, you participated in one of the activities of, the UN body and WANEP, where they actually put stakeholders, critical stakeholders together to discuss these causes of conflict and local solutions that have been adopted by those communities to, mitigate this crisis. How did that impact on Hawaii district, for instance?
On Hawaii district is great because if you look at it, that particular, UN intervention or sensitization was done in the heart of Hawaii district. definitely we felt very proud. We appreciate the government for peace again. We appreciate for the UNDP. Is it UNDP?
Yeah, it was a UNDP and ONEP project.
For taking that bold step. It is not easy to get certain information from people if you don't bring them close to yourself.
Sure.
And for them to have chosen Taraba, I don't know how to thank them. I don't know how to thank them. But I also want to suggest that this doing it on ad hoc basis would not help us. There should be a standing committee that should be doing whatever the staff of the UNDP are doing for now. You can see them, you can feel them, you can direct them, you can suggest.
So there should be a portal where you can make your inputs on how to continue to build on what was done at that meeting. Okay?
Yes. So honestly, it impacted a lot. That was just one aspect of it. But earlier than that, there was one which I participated to. They so much talked about rape, the vulnerability of the children and what have you, the upbringing of the children, and so many things we talked about. The exuberance aspect of youth. You see, there are programs I would suggest that should be in place so that the youth must get engaged. They must get engaged. They must not be given room for an idling mind. The moment they are engaged, they will now have time to listen to their parents. That way, with the help of an organization like UNDP and government and whatever, we will be able to mold them to the type of children we want them to be.
And that would ensure we enjoy peace.
That will bring about the most needed peace.
In our society.
Yes, in our society.
Wow, thank you so much for your time and this recipe, talking gently but hitting the nail right on the head.
At the center.
Yes, at the center. Thank you. We've been talking with Micheal Vakkai, the district head of Hawaii here in Kona Chiefdom. Kona is a chiefdom, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, in Jalingo local government area of Taraba State. And he has given us quite a lot to think about. And my take home for me is the fact that we need to get reorientation and reappreciate the role of the traditional institution in ensuring we enjoy peace in our society. Thank you so much for your time here, sir.
I thank you too very much for having me in mind, and more so for tracing me up to my residence.
The palace.
It's
been an honor. It's been an honor. So, listener, that's how much we take on Talking Peace here on TSBS and on our online platform. But to join us again for another enlightening package, I'm yours sincerely, Iwe Sekunde Enoch, asking you to continue to be good. Bye for now. Hello, I am Queen Kunde Enoch. Join us every Tuesday on the program Talking Peace, where we raise discourse on how to attain peaceful coexistence and tolerance in our society.
Talking Peace is a production of ZT Communications in partnership with Taraba State Broadcasting Service TSBS Jalingo.
For enquiries and advert placements, please call 0803 454 0469.
Talking Peace is the meeting point. Join us.